Welcome everyone to another video. In this video, I'm excited to bring you the Tempest Cup, or at least talk about the Tempest Cup, which is the March Silph Arena theme. And in this theme, you can only use electric, ice, flying, and ground. And when I look at that, that's a pretty well-balanced meta. Electric and ice being super effective against flying, ice being super effective against ground, ground being super effective against electric, and then as well flying double resisting ground moves, and then as well ground being double resistant against against electric, and then as well electric rounding out the resistances being resisted to flying moves. So really well balanced meta. And when a lot of people think about flying Pokemon being allowed in Silph Arena, they're thinking about in my opinion, the best overall Great League Pokemon, which is Altaria, but with a meta that also contains ice. And you'll see that some of the most popular Pokemon are going to be ice. You have to be really wary to use Altaria. And let's take a look at some of the preliminary rankings here. We're going to go to Pokebattler here, and we're going to go all the way to the bottom and click on the top 24 for the Silph Arena Tempest Cup. And we're going to look at the randomized shielding strategies and look over some of these Pokemon. So we have Lapras with Ice Shard and Surf. Ice Shard being going to be super effective against those flying Pokemon and those ground Pokemon, and Surf dealing super effective damage to the ground Pokemon as well. So really great option. Obviously, Lapras is going to be really strong against a lot of different Pokemon, but it's also going to be weak to electric. So that's something you have to worry about. Quagsire is really interesting in my opinion, because Quagsire in Boulder Cup was really a second tier Pokemon, second tier to Wishcash, but because of the change in typings, in this case ice and flying being weak to rock and Quagsire having access to Stone Edge, it's going to be a really effective Pokemon against those types. Glalie with Ice Shard Avalanche, Avalanche being one of the best charge moves in the game, basically second only to the Community Day moves, and then tied with some other moves as well, like Leaf Blade and Draco Meteor for energy efficiency, for damage efficiency per energy. You have Dugong with Ice Shard Icy Wind again being that low energy move, and this is Legacy. And you'll see Steelix with Dragon Tail Crunch. Steelix being a really tanky Pokemon, you do have to be wary about ice moves, and a lot of these ice Pokemon are also ice water, so they also contain stab water moves as well. So that's something to take into consideration, as well as going to be weak to ground. But it's an overall really tanky Pokemon, going to deal that neutral damage to a lot of Pokemon. Celio with Water Gun Body Slam. Body Slam being recently buffed with those recent move changes for PvP. And Body Slam is going to be a really great way to bait shields and as well deal that kind of spam charge move damage. Our good friend Skarmory from the Boulder Cup. Skarmory is not going to be as effective as it once was for Boulder, because flying moves are not super effective in this meta for the most part. And then as well, it recommends Steel Wing, because Steel Wing is going to be super effective against ice Pokemon, but many of the ice Pokemon are also water, and water will resist, so it's going to deal only neutral damage to most Pokemon. And then here you'll see Piloswine, that's ice ground Pokemon, where in this case Skarmory will be super effective against Piloswine, but with Ice Shard Avalanche, really great move combination. Again, Avalanche being that really devastating move. Lantern with Water Gun Thunder, really great option as well. I expect that to be a very popular option in the Tempest Cup. Wishcash, our good friend there. Altaria with Dragon Breath Sky Attack, and Marshtomp with Mudshot Surf. But if we take a look at, let's take a look at each of the shielding strategies and see what we see here. We'll see that, you know, the rankings are pretty similar. The one notable difference here is that Froslass is now included, and as well Mamoswine with Powder Snow Avalanche is also included in the rankings. And you'll see even Snowcast Swarm. So, and then if we go to Shield once, you'll see that for the most part looks pretty familiar to what we've seen before. A couple new additions, including like Flygon, for example, in the top 14, and Dragonite as well, riding at the top 15, and then Shield twice. You'll see here Ice Shard Lapras, Celio, Walrein now being included because now it can actually get to the Blizzard. You'll see Tropius with its flying typing as well as grass typing, with Razor Leaf being so devastating, and Aerialis and Tropius are fairly tanky Pokemon. You'll see Abomasnow. So you'll see a few different Pokemon that appear because of your shielding strategies. Let's turn over to PvPoke, and then we're going to go to, all we have to do here is go to ranking, and then we click on Tempest, and then we'll see here that PvPoke has overall, leads, closer, attackers, and defenders, and we'll go into each of those as we dive into each of the Pokemon and how you should use them, what moves. But for now, we're going to just look at overall, and we'll see Lapras ranks number 1 here. And you'll see that the fast move is a little bit conflicted between Water Gun and Ice Shard, but it's fairly close in PvPoke, and I'm sure it was very close in Poké Battler as well. And they recommend Surf and Ice Beam as the secondary move, so really that kind of makes sense. And you'll see that it's a really great lead, and that's something that you'll need to take into consideration. Now they include Rhyperior here with that Smackdown moveset, and since Rhyperior is both ground and rock, it's going to be double weak to water moves, which is going to be common for those water ice Pokemon. But Smackdown is going to deal super effective damage against ice Pokemon. So it's going to be a good option as well and deal a lot of damage. And then Rhyperior also has access to Surf, which is a low energy required move, and so it's going to be able to spam that Surf move as well. And its rate is 100 as an attacker, which makes sense. You'll see Piloswine, Quagsire, Celio, Walrein, Tropius, Wishcash, Lantern, Mamoswine, Torterra, Dugong, and you'll see a couple different options. And as you go through it, we're gonna explore for each of these Pokemon. We're gonna explore what matchups that does do really well against. In this case, Rhyperior, Glalie, Walrein, Piloswine, Altaria, and then it's gonna be countered by Pokemon like Abomasnow, like Chinchou, like Electrode, like Lantern and Minun. So definitely a lot of different Pokemon that you have to take into consideration, and this should be a fairly well-balanced meta, but we'll see how the meta shakes out as we start formulating our teams and as we start exploring different options. So hopefully you guys are all as excited about the Tempest Cup as I am. I'm really looking forward to diving into this meta, trying it out, doing some live streams, and let me know what Pokemon that you're going to power up in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the